I want to explain to you why people with dogs or cats live longer. They're healthier. And by doing this, I hope to show you that even though it is a little bit of a chore to keep them healthy and take care of them, it benefits you a great deal as a person to be owned by a dog or a cat. Not you own a dog or a cat, but they pretty much own you. But it's for your own good. So, the Huffington Post did a article back in 2014, and it included a few studies, one of which is a study done in 2010 on children who were allergic to dogs but lived with at least one of them within their first year of life, had a lower risk of developing a chronic skin condition, eczema, by age 4. But it did also mention that the opposite was true if they owned a cat. It increased their risks, but the dogs lessened it. It also stated that it could be a cure for loneliness, having a dog or a cat. Because if you have a dog or a cat, and it's just you and that dog, and it's just you and that cat, then more than likely you're going to become socially active with that animal, if that makes sense. When you come home, you're talking to that dog or that animal or that cat. It gives you a sense of purpose. There's always somebody there to greet you. Not a person, but an animal. So when you come home from a really bad day at work, or if you were out running errands and a vehicle cut you off, or whatever the reason is, and you could have just gotten on to that dog for, piddling in the floor, or the cat for knocking something off. But as soon as you left the house, that dog and that cat completely forgot about it. So when you came home, they are eager and anxious, just waiting on you. You become that animal's whole world. So researchers did a study on people who are 60 years of age or older. And if they own a dog or the cat, they were 4 times less likely to be diagnosed as clinically depressed. The Waltham Book of Human-Animal Interactions, Benefits and Responsibilities cite that a study on medical visits by elderly people that compared with non-owners, pet owners made fewer medical visits over the course of the year. Now, I know from personal experience that our local animal shelter gets their adoptable pets, their adoptable dogs, and they will take them to nursing homes. And when the elderly people in those nursing homes interact with those animals, it's like their face completely light up. They're petting them. They're, talking to the puppies. They're walking around the building with them. It gives them someone to love them. Now, that being said, Dr. Alan McConnell, who has a PhD in pet research and is a professor of psychology at the Miami University says that, in fact, pet owners are by far better off than those without pets. It gives, if you are in a crisis, or you're stressed, or in a bad mood, or something unhealthy is going on with you, if you have a cat or a dog, it will help alleviate that. Did you know that pet owners, when they're walking their dog, without even thinking about it, they're actually bettering their heart health? They're walking the dog, and the dog is making them feel better. It's strengthening their heart. It's strengthening their lungs, getting that oxygen, getting their bodies moving. Even if it's just for 30 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day. They're up, they're moving, and they're exercising their body, which is going to help them live longer and make them healthier. Animals are also stress relievers. Have you ever been around anybody that's got a cat or a dog, and they're petting the cat or they're petting the dog, and they're just scowled like this? Probably not. Because when you're petting that cat or you're petting that dog, your body is releasing hormones that cuts the level of stress hormones, and it's relaxing you. Alan Beck, who is the director of Center for Human-Animal Bond at Purdue University, did a study on just that. He showed in his study that when you're petting that animal or that cat or that dog, that it's alleviating stress from your body. When you look at your animal in the face and they've got those big doe eyes and they're looking at you and their tails are wagging and they're just trying to get your attention, you can't help but start to relax and try to forget about your day. Now, studies have shown that dogs are good in a crisis. There's an organization, it's called Paws for Purple Hearts. And what this organization does is they provide service animals for our service members who have come back from overseas with different mental health issues, such as just mental illness in general and PTSD. One example is Army veteran Robert Solis, who served in Baghdad. He was emotionally cut off from his family, his children, everything. When he met up with this organization, they introduced him to a golden retriever who he spent 6 weeks with, had to care for, had to take care of, had to love on, had to nurture. And now he is back with his family and he's communicating a lot better than he was before, just based off of that organization and interacting with that animal. Now, if you have a pet, it does give you a sense of belonging. It gives you a sense of need. It makes your life so much better. So, I wanted to mention one other thing before we close, but there's an organization at Purdue University, and the organization is called the Pet-a-Puppy Club, and what they do is they go and bring adoptable pets on campus for students to meet with and interact with within classes to alleviate their stress. That's something I need you to think about.